Hey everyone, welcome to our very first session of the Perfect Pricing virtual workshop. I'm really excited for this because this is brand new for me. We're going to be giving a lot of value. We're going to go deeper than I normally go in free trainings like this, and I think this is a great place to do it in the sweet spot on Facebook in our group here, and we're going to do a lot of really cool stuff. So I really thank you so much for joining me live and being here with me. And please feel free to ask questions to participate as we go. I'll answer questions. We'll take questions too at the end if you've got some more that you want to go deeper with. But let me give you kind of an overview of what's going to happen over the next few days and what exactly is going on. So the whole point, and if you see me looking off camera, I've got my notes right there because we're going to go really deep into this stuff and I want to make sure that I don't miss anything. So let's start with the whole point. What is the whole point of doing this virtual workshop? And first and foremost, it is to help you land more clients. My whole thing is I help entrepreneurs who are frustrated their business isn't growing to land more clients faster than they think possible. And this concept of perfect pricing is interesting to me, because to perfectly price your services, it's actually a lot deeper than just how much money you charge, right? Like, to really charge a good price and to have a profitable business, it has to flow into your marketing message, your marketing tactics, your sales, into every... I might have lost you there. It said I had a poor connection, so hopefully you're still seeing me and my internet is holding out. Technical difficulties, right? Whenever you do something live and cool, there's always a risk that things are going to go wrong. But I lost my train of thought. Oh, so today we're going to talk about setting a price and how you should charge and package your services so that clients want to buy, so that it's easy for them to buy. But over the course of the next few days, we're going to go deeper than that. Like tomorrow, we're going to talk about your sales process. So today, we're going to get you a price. We're going to get you all geared up. This is how I'm going to charge my clients. And then tomorrow, we're going to say, okay, now that we've got the package, now we've got the price together, how do we actually sell it, right? Because that plays into how well you sell, plays into how much you can charge. And then after that, it's like, okay, now I know how to sell. Now I know how to package my service. We're going to go into how do I market my services, right? And that's going to give you the core, the true core of what you need to be successful in business. But it doesn't matter unless you actually implement. And that's why on the last day, on Friday, we're going to talk about key mindsets and also time management tactics so that you actually implement and you actually get clients. And you get clients that you love to work with, that pay you a good price, you're actually profitable. So we're going to take you in the next 4 days. If you're feeling frustrated, if you're feeling tired with your business, if you're feeling like, man, I'm almost ready to throw in a towel, or if maybe you're doing okay and you're like, man, I really want to make 6 more figures, or I really want to break into 7 figures, we're going to take you from that frustrated point and we're going to get you to a point where you feel like, hey, I got this, and you're going to start implementing and you're going to start getting results. That is the plan. It's really exciting. I am so glad to go on this journey with you. And this is really important stuff. I really do feel like this is important. And the reason why I'm so passionate about this is because the statistic, at least from Forbes, is that let me look so I don't mess it up. 8 out of 10 businesses fail within the first 18 months. And that's really sad to me, because being an entrepreneur is one of the most rewarding things you can do, right? When you're an entrepreneur, you can make more money, you can have more freedom, you can have more impact on the world, and you can have, better clients. You can work with better people. And you get more choices, you get more time. And with those great benefits, you also have the responsibility to make an impact on the world, to help other people, right? To influence and change the world for good. But you can't do those things and you can't have those benefits if you struggle for 18 months and then throw in the towel. So I want to give tools to more entrepreneurs, more people like you, so that you can go out and make a difference in the world, and that your business can truly be successful. You can truly thrive, right? I want you to have more freedom. I want you to have more time. I want you to have more money. And I know this stuff works because I've created it for myself in my business. I've got a business that gives me a great income. It gives me freedom to spend time with my family. I was just, we were invited over to dinner to a couple's house here local, and last night we were talking to them, and they were like, "What's the best part about being an entrepreneur?" I was like, "I can take a client call, go upstairs, and then play with my kid." Right? Like, I love that freedom to spend the time doing what you want to do and being with the people who you love to be. And at the same time, you also have the responsibility to give back. So I love being in a position where I can help other people, where I can make a difference in the world. And if I can do this, you can do it, because there's nothing like super special about me. Like, all of us are snowflakes, right? All of us are different, all of us are unique, but I'm not like super unique and like I didn't do something crazy. I just mastered these principles that we're going to talk about. And if you master them, you can have the same success. And I know you can, because I've seen it happen with my clients too. So let's dive into today's topic, today's training. Oh, before I do that, I'm looking at my notes and I realized I skipped something. I do want to give you just what's going to happen. Last week, in a teaser of sorts, was a video we did on. It kind of was the building blocks to a business, right? It kind of gave the overview, what we call the $1 Million Business Success System. So kind of a step-by-step, this is how you build a business. If you missed that, I did put the link to the video in the description, so you can go back and watch it. I do recommend it. It's really good. Today, we're going to be talking about how to price your packages, or price and package your services so that clients want to buy them and your business is wildly successful. Tomorrow, again at 11 a.m. Central Time, here on the Sweet Spot, we're going to go over how to take those packages and make a sale. So I want to help you learn how to land 9 out of 10 prospects, right? Like, that's the goal. I want you to land 9 out of 10 prospects, and that is a game changer, right? And by the way, I will be posting these to YouTube after the fact. But if you want to attend live and you want to ask questions, you want to participate, be a part of the community here, you have to join the Sweet Spot community. It's free to join. So if you're watching the replay of this, I'll put a link in the description to, and just join the group. And then for the rest of the workshop, you can come live and participate with us. And then on Thursday, we're going to talk about marketing. And on Friday, we're going to talk about the most important thing, in my opinion, and that is the mindsets necessarily to actually take action and implement. And I hope you can see how that's all connected, right? Like, we've got price, like we already went over this, pricing, and then sales, and then marketing, and then mindset to actually implement everything we learned. It's all connected. It all builds on each other. So you're going to want to attend all 4 of the virtual workshops, and then you'll be able to put that all together. And I do also want to point out that you're going to hear me mention several different names, and I just want to make sure that we're clear on what those names are. So the Perfect Pricing Virtual Workshop is these 4 trainings that we're doing over the course from today until Friday. Every day at 11 a.m., every day here live on Facebook. So that's the Perfect Pricing Virtual Workshop. I also have a program called the Perfect Pricing Training Program, which helps you with your pricing, right? So if you hear me mention, sorry, trying to adjust the camera here. So if you hear me mention those 2, I don't want any confusion. And I will be making an offer at the very end of this for what I call the Core 4. And they're just, they're 4 trainings. It's the Perfect Pricing Training Program, which helps you with your pricing, your packaging. It's the Marketing Mastery Playbook, which helps you get your marketing in place so that you get a ton of attention. The Conversations That Sell program, which is comprehensive sales training so that you know how to land clients in a way that feels natural and is not sleazy, not slimy, but feels good and is a real value to you and your clients. And then a program I call Thrive, and it's the mindsets and time management skills you need to really thrive as an entrepreneur. That's why it's called Thrive. So at the end, I will be making an offer for that, so keep an eye out for that. It's going to be a great offer, a great program. But I just want to point out those terms so that there's no confusion. This is the Perfect Pricing Virtual Workshop, That's the actual 4 days. And then the other stuff are actual programs that I sell. So let's dive into today's topic. And today there's really 2 problems that I want to help you overcome. The first is not being paid enough for your work. So by the end of the workshop today, I want you to have a vision and a plan for how you can be wildly profitable. Like, really know that if you sell your services, you're going to make money. And that you're not going to be, this includes quitting that hourly rate. And it includes getting clients that don't nickel and dime you, and that you can confidently sell something and know that it's gonna be a good spend of your time. You're gonna feel good about it, they're gonna feel good about it, and you're gonna make money. That's what we're gonna talk about. That's problem number 1. You're not getting paid enough. We gotta make it so that you're getting paid well. And then problem number 2 is dealing with low quality clients. We wanna set you up so that you start attracting a higher caliber, a higher quality of clients that, clients that you love to work with and with whom you do your best work. Like, that really is what it comes down to. And the way you price and the way you position your services makes a big difference as to who you attract. So those are the 2 problems we're going to overcome today. We're going to get you paid more, so no more low-paying clients, and we're going to get you better clients. Raise that quality, raise that caliber. And this stuff really hits home for me because when I first started my business, so the name of my company is Brightworks PR and Marketing. When I first started, I was just Brightworks PR, and I was a full-service PR firm. I did PR for the Walt Disney Company, and I did PR for the Edelman, which is the largest PR firm in the world. And I also was the head of communications for a large nonprofit. So I had all this experience, and I thought, hey, I'm just going to hang my shingle. I'm going to become an entrepreneur, and life is going to be good. People are just going to show up. I'm going to be rolling in money. And I hung my shingle out. I started hitting the street. I got some clients, and I got to tell you, my clients were awful. Like, I was working with just what I considered to be bottom of the barrel type clients, and they nickeled and dimed me. There's scope creep all the time. They always wanted more, but they were never willing to pay for more. I felt like it was a constant battle to keep them involved in my business. Like, I always had to resell them on, no, PR is worth it. It's worth it. Seriously, like, you gotta stick with it. And it felt like this huge battle, and I didn't want to do it anymore. So when I got really frustrated, I started asking around. I started saying, hey, everyone I could get my hands on, other business owners, old professors, colleagues, old bosses. I started calling everyone that I thought could help me land better clients, and I started just asking questions. And that process led me to a guy, and I don't even think he would remember my name, because we had one meeting, and but that one meeting really changed the trajectory of my business. And we were talking for a little while, and it was just like an informational interview. He was doing me a favor, so we went to like a St. Louis Bread Co. or Panera, and I bought his lunch or something. And so we're talking, and he said something to me that made all the difference. He said, Craig, you got to stop charging hourly because it hurts you and it hurts your clients. So you're not doing anyone any favors. Stop charging hourly. And that seemed to me like advice I'd gotten everywhere else, right? Like, I feel like that's almost like, you hear that all the time. Like, don't charge hourly, like, charge based on results or this or that. And it never clicked. But when he said that, I'm looking at him, and this is a guy who was making multiple 6 figures himself, had a small team of 5 people who he paid really well. He had a waiting list of clients, all built from word of mouth from his current clients. Like, he was just the epitome of success. And he was like, I don't want to grow any bigger because, like, I love going boating. Like, he loved to go on the lake and go skiing and we were in Utah. He loved to go actual skiing too on the mountains. He's like, I don't want to grow any bigger because I love my life. It's a lifestyle business. I make a ton of money. The people who work with me make a ton of money. So I'm good. And so I'm looking at this guy and I'm like, this is the proof. This is the proof in the pudding. Like, he is super successful, and he's telling me stop charging hourly. So I really started to look into it. I really started to think about it. And what I realized was that charging hourly was the cause of a lot of the stuff that I didn't like about my clients. Like, it was the reason why I felt at odds with them, right? They always wanted more, but they didn't want to pay for more hours. I wanted to do a good job, but I didn't have enough time to do it right. And, I just wanted enough money to pay my bills and to feed my family. That's all I wanted, but they wanted the biggest bang for their buck. So it was this constant back and forth. So what I started doing was I said, hey, no more hourly. We're going to talk about results, and I'm going to start charging based on getting a certain result. And what happened was my business changed, right? I started attracting better clients who were interested in doing deeper work. I started making more money immediately because now I knew this was the scope of the project. This is what it takes to get this result. This is what we're going to do. And now they didn't want any scope creep. There wasn't more stuff to do because they wanted that result and they trusted me to go get the result. So now I had more control over the time I spent, and I had more control over the activities that I did. And I knew I was going to make enough money doing it. And the other thing I found is that it's actually easier to sell your services, especially when you're selling marketing, PR, or social media type services. Anything that's kind of a little bit nebulous. Strategy in particular. It's a lot easier to sell a package than to try and sell your services at an hourly rate. Like, it's so much easier to sell it. So those changes started taking place in my business, and that's why I'm so passionate about this, and I want to bring it to you. So what we're really talking about, when we really get down to it, is I want you to start taking your services. Well, I want you to take your business and base it around one single ultimate result. Okay, now this is gold right here. This is a game changer. Base your entire business around getting one ultimate result. And I'm not just talking about your packages. Like, that's going to be our focus today. But your sales, your marketing, your services, if it all starts revolving around, I help people get a certain result, the conversations with your clients are going to change. And not just the conversations, but the way you present your services and the packages you present and the price you can charge all starts to change. So that's the first thing I want you to do, is I want you to base all of your business around getting one singular ultimate result. And that's going to solve both of the problems that we mentioned. So problem number one was not being paid enough. So I already mentioned with packages, 100%, like, you've got 100% control over, this is what we're going to do, and you're going to know this is how much time it takes, this is how much resource and energy it takes, so you can set a price that for sure covers your cost. So it's going to be profitable. And that's just business 101, right? If you want to make money, price has to be greater than cost. So this is a way that you can be 100% sure there's not going to be any hidden stuff. You know what it takes to get that result. So this is the plan to get that result, and this is what it costs. So you can raise your price above that and make sure you're profitable. And we're also going to be making more money. Another way that problem gets solved is that you can actually charge more money, because when you charge based on a result versus your process or your service, it's actually more valuable. People will pay more to get a result versus paying you for your services. And let's just put an example, right? Like, the fitness industry knows this 100%. When you go to so there are personal trainers, there are weight loss programs, there's milkshakes, there's food, there's tons of different stuff in the fitness industry, but none of them sell their product. They all sell weight loss, right? You don't buy these milkshakes. You buy the idea that you can lose weight if you drink those milkshakes. You don't buy a personal trainer because you want a personal trainer. You buy the weight loss or the fitness that you're going to get because you're working with a personal trainer, right? And if you buy that weight loss, that is worth more to you than a milkshake or a personal trainer or whatever it is, right? So your services are the same. No one wants to pay for marketing. They don't want to pay you for your hour of time. Like, they don't really care. What they want is what they think that can get them. So when you start basing your pricing around, I help you get a certain result, suddenly you can charge more because it's more compelling. People want that more, right? And our second problem was, we don't want to work with bad clients anymore. We don't want crappy clients. No more crappy clients. Well, when you start raising the level of conversation to getting results, and this is the strategy to get that result, you're going to weed out all of those lower level people who are bargain hunters, right? Like, they're looking for the hourly rate. They're looking for the cheapest of the cheap, and they don't care. They don't care about you or your strategy. They just want they just want marketing done, or they want PR or whatever. And you start attracting this deeper level of person who is really concerned with the long-term health of their business and long-term strategies. So you actually work with better clients. You get to work with them for a longer amount of time because they really commit. They really buy in. So just by basing your business and your services and your prices around an ultimate result, we're gonna solve our two problems. Okay, so that's why we want to do this. Let's talk about exactly what I want you to do. So really, there's 3 steps to this that I want you to take in order to start pricing around an ultimate result and then building packages to sell. And I kind of gave it away. So step 1 is to base everything around an ultimate result. Step 2 is to then build a package that helps your client achieve that result. And then step 3 is to actually set the price, and we're going to set it based on results. Okay, so those are the 3 things we want to do. And maybe I shouldn't have said steps, because you don't necessarily... Cause we'll talk about order in just a second. But those are the 3 things I want you to do, right? So we need to set an ultimate result, and then we need to build a package to get that ultimate result, and then we need to set a price based on results. Those are 3 things we need to do. But let's talk about setting that price, because, and this is why I was hesitant just a second ago, because part of being an entrepreneur is unlearning a lot of the stuff that corporate culture tries to that they take as common sense, and it's not really common sense. You know, they're like, oh, well, like, build your package and set a price. Well, we're actually going to do it backwards. I want you to set your price first and then build your package, right? And really, if we were to take this to, what is the very first step, Craig? I don't even know where to start. The very first step is to identify your audience. And this is me going off script, because this is actually something we're going to talk about when we get to the marketing. But the very first step is actually to identify your audience and say, what is it that they want that I can provide? And that's your ultimate result. Okay, so now that we've got our ultimate result, now we want to set a price. Most people would want to build their package. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to do it differently because we're smarter than the average bear, right? That's a Yogi Bear reference. I'm sure you got that. I can't help myself with puns sometimes. Anyways, okay, so we're going to do it backwards. We're going to now set our price. Now let's talk about setting prices. Because you may think that you need to do a lot of research and find out what your competition is charging to set your price, but that's not the way you do it. And you may think that you want to build the package first, but that's not the way you do it. You may think that you have to have several packages and several price points and have all these cool, slick offers. No, that's not the way we do it. And you know, squirrel moment, I just noticed the back of my office here is kind of a disaster, isn't it? I'm so focused on giving you value that I didn't straighten up. You see, I've got my mic. I was just recording, and this is actually a Spartan race medal, and then my books over there are kind of a mess. Whatever. I got distracted. Hopefully, you're probably distracted because I got distracted. And if I hadn't gotten distracted, we'd probably be all fine. Where was I? What was I talking about? Okay, setting prices. No, we're not going to do it the normal way. I want you to set your prices based on your goals and your capacity. Those are the 2 things that we really want to measure. And so what we're actually going to do is we're going to set a goal. How much money do you want to make this year? Or how much money do you want to add? So if you're struggling, then let's just say how much money you're going to make. But if your business is doing pretty good, I want you to say how much money do I want to add this year. Okay? And then we're going to divide that by your capacity. Okay? So let's say I want to make or add $100,000 to my business this year. Okay? And let's say that I can take on 10 new clients. I know that I think I can take on 10 people. Okay, great. We're going to take $100,000. That's our goal price. And we're going to divide it by our capacity, which is 10 clients. And that's going to get us our minimum price per client, which is $10,000. Because 100 grand divided by 10, $10,000 per client. So now I know that if I can make $10,000 per client, then I will reach my goal of $100,000. Right? Very simple. So let's do that with you. I want you to find your minimum price per client. So what's your goal? Get a piece of paper and a pen. You know, reach around. I've got a pen here. You want to borrow it? You can borrow it. I'm throwing stuff. I'm getting distracted. I don't know what's up with me. Okay, so get a piece of paper, get a pen. Write down your goal. What is it? 100,000, 200,000, 50,000, 10,000? You know, there's no right or wrong answer here. What's your goal? Okay, now what's your capacity? How many new clients could you take on right now? And you don't have to be exact. Like, this isn't an estimate, right? It's a guess. Like, I think I can take on X number of clients. That's okay. So go ahead and write that down. Do the math. Divide your money goal by your capacity, and that's going to get you your minimum price per client. Okay, now what you have to do is just simply build. Now we know that we're going to build packages to get that price amount. And if we do that and we sell those packages, we're going to reach our money goal of whatever it is. So our example, again, was if we want to make $100,000, we can take on new clients. We build packages worth $10,000. Well, work that backwards, right? If we sell 10 packages at $10,000, we're going to make our goal of $100,000. So do that math, and then you build your package. Now you say, okay, I know the ultimate result that my clients want. I know how much money I need to make per client. Now, what problems can I solve that those clients would be willing to pay for at that price? And if $10,000 seems like a lot of money to you, maybe think about it this way. We didn't put a time frame to that. Like, that could be, you need 10 people throughout the course of the year to pay you $10,000 if you want to add. It looks like my connection went out again, so hopefully you're still with me. I don't know, internet problems, I guess, you know. Where was I? Okay, so you know, throughout the course of the year. So if you were to do, you know, you can work with 20 clients for 6 months, and that would be $5,000 per client. Or maybe you sell a monthly, you know, rate, like a retainer package, and that would only be $840 or $834 dollars a month. And if you had 10 people every month doing that, you would reach your goal. So $10,000 is our minimum per client, but you could divide that by 12. And so you need to make like $850 per client per month if you want to reach your goal. So this is how we come up with our price. It's not about the competition. It's not about what other people are charging. It's about your audience, what they want, and then how much money you need to make, and then building a package around those concepts, right? So a way to build your package is to say, okay, how do I get that ultimate result? Go through the steps in your head. Okay, they want clients through Facebook, right? I'm going to do Facebook ads for them. Okay, what's the process to getting clients on Facebook? And what am I willing to do? And what do they need to do? And then start building your package for it, right? Okay, they want PR services. What does it take to get their name in the paper or on a magazine or on the websites on a consistent basis? What does that look like? Here's my package. Let's put it together, right? So think about your ultimate result and then build a package that is worth the amount of money that you need to make. That's really what we're talking about here. And you'll notice we're raising, again, going back to what we talked about earlier, we're raising the conversation. So you can actually charge more and spend less time. maybe not do less, but spend less time per client. So you're essentially giving yourself a raise by spending less time doing client work, but getting paid more per hour just by stopping charging hourly and charging by packages instead, right? So let me take a look at my notes and make sure that I covered everything that I want to cover. Okay, great. Yeah, I think we went over most of that, and I want to give you an example so that you can kind of really internalize this and see how it can apply. Because I know, I'm going to grab a drink. I know from working with clients that in theory, and my experience too, if you remember my story earlier, it's easy to understand this in theory, but then to go and apply it, it's a little bit different. I mean, I feel like there's two types of learning or two types of knowing, right? It's like knowing the theory and then experiencing it and knowing through experience. And it's two different things. So you might be sitting here going, Craig sounds great, I'm really excited. And then you like go to do it and you're like, I don't know, does Craig really know what he's talking about? So let me share you an experience with you about a client of mine who went through the same thing. And he built a great business before we even met, in the PR industry on a very specific niche, and he did really well, but he kind of lost his heart in it. Like, it went through the process and was no longer like really, his heart was no longer in that business. And so he wanted to switch, but in theory he understood to a different niche, to a different thing. He wanted to actually start to help people with speaking. He wanted to teach people how to be better public speakers. And in theory, he understood this. I could make that money if I did that. But his whole experience, his whole life was in, but this is how I make money is over here. So I guess my light, man, if Murphy's Law in action today, I've got this halo light, and I think the battery went out. So my internet connection is poor. My lights are going out. Murphy's Law in action. Okay. So he wanted to make that transition, and in theory he understood it, but his actions didn't match it because in his gut, his experience kept telling him the money is in this other niche. And so like his business just kept kind of going downward and downward until he landed his first client in his new niche. He sold that package we built together. You know, he and I built a package, we built a sales plan, we built a marketing plan, we sent him out, and he landed his first client with that new package. And we got on the phone and he looked at it and he said, holy cow, I could make a living off this. I could make more money doing this than I could over here. And it's just that experience. Once you actually sell one of these packages, you're going to start feeling it and experiencing it. And that knowledge is going to propel you forward. So the moral of that story, or the call to action for you, is you got to try this out. You know, if you're on the fence, you're like, hey, this sounds great, but I've always charged hourly, or I've always done it this way, or hey, Craig, I'm looking at the rest of the industry and it seems like everyone else is doing it this way, which, by the way, a lot of them are doing it that way, and a lot of them aren't making money. Remember our stat? 8 out of 10 businesses fail in the first 18 months. So if you're doing things the way everybody's doing it, you're doing it wrong, right? So if you're on that fence, though, try this out. Make a package, do the math, see it in your head first, and then go and try and sell it. You sell 1 or 2 of these packages, you're going to be sold on the concept, and your business and your life will change because suddenly you'll start making more money, you'll be working with better clients, life in general will be so much better. Okay, so that's our topic for today. That's everything. I want you to leave comments below. I want you to tell me what it is you learned today. Do you have any takeaways? Do you have any questions? Let's put them in the comments. I would love to hear from you and know what you're experiencing. You know, hopefully, never have a problem with the internet. So it looks clear on my side. Hopefully, I'm not all grainy, and hopefully my mouth and my voice match up. You know, I hate it when that happens. If not, maybe I'll redo this and post another video for you. But hopefully it looks great. Leave your comments. Let me know what you're thinking. And just as a reminder, what is coming up, right? So today we talked about pricing. But remember, to perfectly price your services, we have to go beyond just pricing. So tomorrow we're going to be talking about how do you sell your services now that you've got it priced. Now that you've got a price and a package, how do we go out and sell it? And your sales process really is, it's what 99% of business owners are missing, is this sales process. And I want to get you to the point. My daughter came downstairs. My wife has taken her away. So, oh, poor girl. Man, Murphy's Law in action today. Everything's going wrong. Hopefully, I'm a real person. If you had any doubts, now you know. Anyways, tomorrow's training is going to help you get to the point where you can confidently and naturally present your packages so that you can actually sell them, right? Like, it's great in theory. I want you to be able to go out and do it. So tomorrow, we're going to go over the essential pieces you need to land 9 out of 10 prospects with a natural sales process. We're going to overcome the awkwardness of sales. We're going to overcome the fear of asking for the price you want. Have you ever gotten to that moment where you've got to like say how much you charge and you're like, you can't get it out, right? We're going to talk about that. We're going to help you overcome that. We're going to talk about how you can immediately land clients. Like, no more proposals, no more waiting to hear back from people. That is a thing of the past. We don't need that anymore. You can land clients in one single phone call, and you can land 9 out of 10 clients in one single phone call or one single meeting. And then last but not least, this is really what we're talking about, is we're going to help you stop treading water and start bringing in more clients. That's what we're doing tomorrow. So that's the next step, right? We've got a pricing in place today, sales tomorrow. Make sure you come in. Okay, it's tomorrow at 11 o'clock here on the Sweet Spot. Come live so that you can participate, you can ask questions, you can make comments, and I'll be around. So leave your comments in the videos or in a separate post on the Sweet Spot. Go ahead and let me know what you're thinking about this. Is your pricing going to change? Do you buy into this? Do you not buy into this? What's your biggest takeaway? I would love to hear it, and I want to interact with you. So please do that. And if you're watching the replay and you're not a member of the Sweet Spot, it's free to join. It's a great community of people. And this is the type of stuff we do all the time. This is deeper than normal, but every month we have trainings. And come join us, and you'll be able to participate live. Okay, we'll talk soon. Bye.